I should unmute my mic before I start speaking. Tier list time. I'm gonna do some rankings today. I just wanted to stream, but I wanted to keep things kind of low key, kind of simple. And so I was like, what's a good way to just kind of do a simple stream? Nothing too crazy. And I was like, oh, I can do a tiered list. That sounds fun and easy and chill. And I like talking about video games pretty much more than I like playing video games. So, I'm gonna just talk about some video games today. Hi, Delana. Oh, you think so? You think I'm gonna have some trash opinions? We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna go. I'll start. So they have it in this order here, but I'm gonna go chronologically just from the beginning all the way to the end. So I guess we'll start with the first Legend of Zelda here. And I'm gonna put this one. I don't think this is gonna be very controversial. This is going in the I respect it category. Because I think Zelda 1 for its time was like, you know, monumental and legendary, and it did all these cool things, and it was this epic quest. But like, oh, going back and trying to play this game now without like a guide or any real information, it's rough. I feel like you just kind of have to like, you know the game by playing it for years, and I feel like it's just not very intuitive for new players today, but I respect it for what it accomplished back in its time. Moving on to Zelda 2, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the it's fine category. So let me preface this by saying I don't think any of these are going to be bad games, which is why I don't have a like a tier for like bad, because I don't believe any of these are like bad games. I think some of them are okay or not to my taste, and some of them are really good, but I don't think any of them are like terrible. They're all made, they function. So I think at the very worst we're gonna get it's fine, but maybe I'll, for a little funny, put trash. Didn't include the CDI games. Well, obviously those go in their own tier above whatever S tier is. Those go into like double S plus X tier. So I didn't think we needed to really talk about those ones. The Tingles super duper Rooper Pooper games are also up in the triple S double X tier. Because they got Tingle in them. So yeah, we'll put those there. Then we get A Link to the Past. God, this is where I think my age is just gonna show a little bit, because I didn't play Crossbow Training. It's fine. I'm not doing whatever. What about Crossbow Training? I haven't played it. Honestly though, I haven't played Crossbow Training, so that would go into this tier, the have not played tier. Link to the Past, this is where I'm going to show my age, because I didn't play Link to the Past very much as a kid. I played a bit of the Game Boy version of it, but I also, like, it just wasn't... The first Zelda game I think I played was Ocarina of Time, and it wasn't even on N64. It was the GameCube disc version of it. So I think, like, Link to the Past is fine. It's good. It's a good game. I can't deny that it's like a good game, and it set the foundation for like all the other Zelda games, but I think it's fine. I respect it. I respect it as like the foundation for pretty much the rest of the series. It's really when the series found its footing. And as far as like playability goes, you can go back and play it fine, and it's a good game, but it just, like, compared to some games that really speak to me, I'm just not feeling it. Now that I'm thinking about it, what came out next? Was Ocarina of Time before or after Link's Awakening? We'll go Link's Awakening. So this one, easy S tier. Easy, love it so much it's a friend tier. Link's Awakening, I mean, just, it's because it's pretty much it's really similar to Link to the Past, but the story alone is just so good. And this was also the first Zelda game that I beat, so I have some pretty good nostalgia for it. Like, it wasn't the first one I played, but it was the first one that I actually went through and, like, beat it all. I just went through the whole thing on, like, a weekend on, like, my original Game Boy Color. It was so good. Just... And again, the story, I think, is what really sets it over the top. Because it's simple, and it's not, like, you know... It's no Shakespeare, but it's just engaging and it's interesting. And I think Zelda is at its best when it gets a little weird. And I think all the Zelda games have like elements of like, you know, little weirdness to it, either wacky character designs or just some bits of it that are a little strange. But I think when Zelda really gets like funky with it is when the games get like phenomenal. So then we move on to Ocarina of Time. And this one, I'm going to go ahead and put into, I respect it. Like, it's fine. I think Ocarina, because it's basically just 3D Link to the Past. If you look at, like, a lot of early Nintendo 3D games, a lot of what they were doing was just making, not like a lot, some of what they were doing was just basically making 3D versions of their 2D games. They did it with Metroid Prime, and they did it with Zelda. And Ocarina of Time is just... It's just 3D Link to the Past, and it's good. Like, it's got good dungeon design. It's got, you know, got a story. It's got, I mean, the music in the game is phenomenal, but that's kind of just given for pretty much every Zelda game, no matter what. But it's like, it's fine. It's a good game. I respect it. And beyond anything, like, I know a lot of people argue about whether or not it's aged well. I think it's aged fine. I will say, play the 3DS version, and it's really upsetting that Nintendo hasn't made the 3DS version more widely available on modern console. Hey, Vidavis, welcome! What do you mean? My opinions are great and awesome. Just you wait. You've never played a single Zelda game? That's kind of wild, actually. But no, I think the biggest part of Ocarina that has aged poorly are the visuals and the aiming controls, both of which are fixed by the 3DS version because it looks a lot nicer and it has better aiming. So I'm kind of... They don't have the separate versions on here, so it's a little tough to like differentiate them. I'm gonna take bits and pieces because I do think there's some games that I would tier differently depending on which versions of them it has, or it is, I guess. But I think overall for Ocarina, it's a fine game and it's pretty good. I'm just putting it in and I respect it. It's not, I respect what it did. I respect the fact that it basically set the groundwork for every other 3D adventure game to like happen ever. Like, we wouldn't have Dark Souls, we wouldn't have Kingdom Hearts, we wouldn't have fucking anything if it wasn't for Ocarina of Time. Like, this set the groundwork. As it is now, I'll go back and play it every now and then. I find it fun, but I do hope Nintendo eventually does like an upscaled port of the 3DS version to Switch or whatever console they're doing at the time, because I think that would just make it a lot better. Okay, Delane is getting timed out for a minute for saying swears. Holy shit, I didn't remember. I didn't think it would delete every single message that she put. Ah, funny. Sorry, Delana. See you in a minute. Anyway, okay, I think after, actually, now to think about it, after Ocarina was Link to the Past, whatever. We'll go into the Oracle games then. These are both... Oh, actually, how do I want to rank? It's been a minute since I've played the Oracle games. I think both of these are going to go into now this is a pretty good game. Because, like... it's a little janky trying to connect the two of them, and I do, again, this is one of those moments where I really hope we get like a remake of them that kind of combines both games into one. Not like literally combines them into one, but gives an easier way to like play through both of them in tandem without having to do like weird link cable connection stuff. But overall, the games are fun. They're interesting. I like the individual mechanics of them. I will say I like Ages a little bit more than Seasons because I think the time travel mechanic is cooler than the Seasons mechanic. I think it actually has a better time travel mechanic than Ocarina of Time does, because Ocarina of Time doesn't really do a whole lot with its time travel, whereas Ages does a shit ton with it. For Ocarina, it's more kind of just like set dressing for the setting. Ages is like, oh, you go back in time, you do something, it has a major effect on the future. I sent you to jail for comedy. Comedy is illegal in my stream. This is... Or wait, no, comedy is legal in my stream. I don't fuck, I can't keep track anymore. It's too hard. Anyway, I think both of these are really good. I really hope we get some updated version of them, even if it was just like... I mean, realistically, Nintendo's just gonna throw them on their stupid online service and call it a day. And that's gonna suck ass, and they're gonna be like, that's good enough, and it's gonna make me upset and sad. But... whatever. Fine. I don't care. I care so much. Majora's Mask, obviously, love it so much. It's a friend. S tier, incredible story, incredible just theming. The atmosphere of the game is overwhelmingly oppressive. Everything about it is just like amazing. It has so many unique mechanics. Just probably, oh god, it's gonna get a little rough later, like ranking these. Oh, also, I'm gonna move these around a bit. I'm gonna try to rank them actually like how I, you know, in each individual tier also. But Majora's Mask is gonna be a tough one to beat because it's just, the atmosphere of the game is overwhelmingly oppressive. The writing is really good. It just, I think having, and this is where I think this is more than any other Zelda game where I think the remake is controversial, especially because there were some parts of it that I liked in Majora's Mask 3D. I think the brighter visuals do lend some pretty good contrast to the darker atmosphere of the game. That being said, I do think there's some parts of the game that I think they went too far in regards to brightening up the visuals, and I think that can be a little of a downgrade, honestly. It's weird. I don't think Ocarina has aged well visually, but strangely enough, Majora's Mask, even though like the texture work isn't that much better, I think original Majora's Mask actually visually looks pretty good for today. Like, even just Link's character model, it's only slightly upgraded, but it's just so much better looking to me in Majora's Mask. Like, Link just looks better, the texture work is better, it's got that extra, got the extra RAM from the expansion pack thing that went in the N64, and it just looks visually better. I think the 3DS version, I would probably put in, now this is a pretty good game, I'd put it down a tier just because it takes out a lot of the good mechanics. Changing the way you save the game is bad. Changing the Zora swimming was pointless and dumb. Some of the bosses are all just straight up worse in the 3DS version. Like, they sanitized it and just made it play a lot more like every other Zelda game. And that's unfortunate because I really do think that Majora's Mask was a wholly unique experience and really unlike pretty much any other game we've seen mechanically in the series and out of it. And it's unfortunate that Nintendo seems ashamed of that as opposed to proud of doing something epic and cool and worthy of awesome, being great. Anyway, beyond that, let's go over to Four Swords. I haven't really played it. I have it. I got it when I was a kid. I played it for like 15 minutes and then I was like, how do I play with friends? And it was like, connect a Game Boy. And I was like, I can't just plug in another controller? Oh, okay. And then I stopped playing it. So not much to say there. Same with, I guess that's Adventure. I'm ranking the Game Boy version of Link to the Past as just Four Swords. This isn't Link to the Past, this is Four Swords. This here is Link to the Past. Haven't really played it. Again, I have the Game Boy Advance version of Link to the Past, but I've never had 4 friends who also had the game and one of those like 4-way link cables. So unfortunately, Not much to say there. Just didn't play it. Moving on. Wind Waker. Oh, 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 oh. Do I? This is where I'm coming back to this one. I'm coming back to that one. I can't do Wind Waker right now. I gotta. Okay, moving on. Twilight Princess. Oh, god damn, it's fine. I like this is where it's like weird, because like Twilight Princess, you know what? No, it has Midna. I forgot about Midna for a second. I don't know, because Twilight Princess, I think, in a lot of ways, because really when you look at it, a lot of the design of the game is just Ocarina, but again, and bigger. And that's unfortunate because the game doesn't really have a whole lot of its own personality, or rather the personality it does have just feels very bland to me. I think more than, because like Ocarina I think of as not really having a personality. Ocarina in my mind is just 3D Zelda. There's not really a gimmick to it. Yeah, there's the like 2 different time whatever, kid and adult, but like it's just Zelda. It's just 3D Zelda. It doesn't really have like its hook. Majora's Mask obviously has a hook. Wind Waker has a hook. Twilight Princess kind of has a hook because it has like Wolf Link and the whole Twilight Zone. But something about it just doesn't like, it doesn't like hit me the same way. It's just, maybe it's also the visuals I think are just like kind of boring. Look, I'm saying there are a lot of good things about Twilight Princess. I won't deny that. It has like some cool shit in it. It has, I love Wolf Link. I love Midna. Midna might straight up be the best. What are the other ones? Like, who's the competition? Fi? The King of Red Lions, Navi. Okay, I'm pretty confident with putting it now. This is a pretty good game. This is like, it's good. Midna's a really good companion. The game is fine. It's good. Yeah, I think it's fine here. Pretty good game. Pretty good game. Yeah. Moving on. Minish Cap. Ooh. I'm gonna put Minish Cap on. This is a pretty good game. I think all 3 of the Capcom Zeldas. Actually, I'm gonna change this a little bit. That goes there. I'll put it there. You know, I'll put it there. Yeah, Midna is an S tier. I just wish the rest of the game was a little. Honestly, for me, it's the visuals more than anything. I think Twilight Princess just is visually very boring. Oh yeah, me too. I love Minish Cap. It was one of the first Zelda games I played. I think all 3 of the Capcom Zelda games are really good, and Minish Cap is just, it's so bright and fun, and it's God, for me, honestly, atmosphere and vibes matter a lot to me in my video games, and I think that Minish Cap just feels very cozy. It's a very fun game. Moving on, I'm gonna do both of the DS game. No, Wind Waker. I don't know where to put Wind Waker. I don't know where to put Wind Waker. I mean, the fact that I don't immediately want to put it here already feels like it tells me a lot. But like, I think Wind Waker also just... Hi, Lily! Welcome to the stream! I'm gonna come back to Wind Waker in a little bit because that shit's hard for me to... It's good! It's really good! Wind Waker's good, but let's not pretend it doesn't have some issues. Why is Minish Cap not top tier? It's good! Minish Cap's really good. I'm not gonna like... But, you know, it has some it has some. Okay, addressing Wind Waker first. Let's address. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put Wind Waker right here. Addressing Wind Waker. The problem with Wind Waker is the fact that there's very clearly a lot of cut content for it. Like, it was rushed. Straight up, it was a rushed game. This is known. Nintendo has stated they had plans for additional content that didn't make it into the game. And I think between that and the fact that the end of the game is a really bad fetch quest, it kind of just takes it down. Like, it's tough. Same with Minish Cap. Minish Cap has like some of that weird, like, it has like the puzzle thing you have to do where you have to like connect. You know, I think these are good games that just have some moments that make them a little rough to get through. But they're both like solid games. On any given day, Wind Waker could make it up into S tier. Honestly, same with Minish Cap. These two, I could see going into S tier on a different day. But today, they're stuck in... I'm still saying they're a pretty good game. Because now this is a pretty good games. I'm going to put an S there. Now this is a pretty good games. Moving on. Link Between Worlds. Yeah, this one's good. I don't have a lot of opinions on Link Between Worlds. I also skipped the DS one, so we'll go backwards in a second. It's good. It's a good game. Like, it's... I got nothing else to say. It's Link to the Past, but better. I like the fact that you can do the dungeons in any order. I like Ravio. Princess Hilda's really cute, so that's kind of neat. I like the going on walls thing and becoming a painting. It's a good game. It's good. I don't really have any opinions. It's just solid. Moving on. The DS games. Oh, I don't think this is like controversial. They're going in here. I'm actually gonna put Spirit Tracks slightly above, just because I think okay, you know what, actually Spirit Tracks can go here, because thinking about it, Ghost Zelda is like a fucking genius companion. When I was thinking earlier about what Zelda companions are better than Midna, if any, I actually kind of didn't think about Ghost Zelda until right now, and thinking about it, Ghost Zelda is so good as a partner. She's funny. She's actually like helpful to the gameplay. She's intertwined well. I love the final boss with like her helping you out and everything. Like, Spirit Tracks gets bumped up a few tiers just for that. I like Lineback. He's fine. I don't even remember the fairy's name from Phantom Hourglass. You have like a fairy helper technically too, and I straight up don't remember her name. But Lineback's cool. He's kind of a bastard. I do love a bastard character that has like, you know, a secret heart of gold and is really cowardly, but then at the end he like kind of turns out to be helpful. So I enjoy that. It's fine, but I think just the DS controls are really rough, and I wish there was a way to... I wish they just had some alternate control schemes. I know there's like mods and stuff you can use to make it so you can play with like the D-pad, and that's kind of neat, but I would really like to see these two games get released with a more modern control scheme. I know they could do it. They won't, but especially now that like the eShop's down, there's not really a bunch of great ways to play these anymore, but it would be cool if Nintendo could do a dual pack of them with more modern controls. Okay. Triforce Hero, haven't played it. Who gives a shit? Same with Tears of the Kingdom, although let's be real. Let's be real. Like, I don't even need to play it. Tears of the Kingdom is going into this tier. Put what back? Tears of the Kingdom? No! It's obviously going to be an S tier. Of course it is. No, I'm sticking by this. This is, no, yes, what do you, hold on. What about that? It is not the same game, but with Skyward Sword. What are you talking about? But also, Breath of the Wild was already, like, phenomenal. So just making Breath of the Wild again, but with new cool shit you can do, I'll be real. And here's the thing, I mean, with Tears of the Kingdom, we know so little about it still. Like, okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I caved and I watched the 13-minute gameplay demo for the game, and all the new shit they've added is so cool, but we've also still seen so little. We don't even know what the like gameplay loop's going to be. Are they doing shrines again? Do we have actual dungeons now? Are there going to be like new bosses? We've only seen like one enemy type. I'm sure they're adding more, but we've only seen like the Contraptor or whatever they're called. Like, there's just obviously, like, they've been working on this game for years. For years. There's no way that there isn't just like a treasure trove of new shit that we haven't seen yet. I swear to God, like, it's going to be the best Zelda game of all time, and I'm going to play. I've already put so much time into Breath of the Wild. I beat it on Wii U. I beat it on like using the same map from the previous game with little to no textural updates, and feels not right to me. But like, I don't look. Okay, I get it. I get what you're saying. At some level, I agree. And I do think it would have been cool to have, like, a new map. But, in my mind, all that means is the map was already done. They didn't have to spend a whole lot of time building a new map. The base was already there, which means it still took them, what, like, 7 years to come out with this game after the launch of Breath of the Wild? So there was like DLC and whatnot for Breath of the Wild. So assuming that they've been working on this game for what, like 5-6 years, that means unlike with Breath of the Wild where they had to spend development time building the map, they've spent development time entirely adding just like other new shit, which means there has to be just like so much crazy shit in this game. And also the new mechanics they've showed off so far are phenomenal looking and look so cool. Like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter because, yeah, they use the old map, which I'm sure is still going to have some differences here and there. But, like, God, I hope I don't, and look, I hope so much that I don't get, like, some of that Serena hubris. Because God knows that the universe loves to humble me every now and then. But I'm shooting my shot here. I'm not putting it back down and have not played. This is in my soul, in my heart of hearts. I have played it and it has cured me of every ailment possible that I've ever had and that I ever will have. And that's something that I know to be true. I know it to be true, that I have to put it there. It is a friend. Here's the thing. This isn't S tier. This isn't S tier. This isn't S tier. This is love it so much, it's a friend tier. And I will say, Tears of the Kingdom, that's a friend. This right here, this is my friend. And you're telling me to put my friend in this tier? I can't do that to a friend. I won't do that to a friend. This is like saying someone's your best friend without even having talked to them? No, incorrect. Delana, you're also my friend. You would go here as well. You would also be. If you were in this tier list for some reason of Zelda games, I'd throw you up here. This is like if, how do I put this? This is... No, you gotta understand, it's different. Just by watching, it'd be like if you, like, I don't know how to explain that, like, you can have a connection to someone without knowing them. you can... It's like looking at them talk to other from afar and being like, oh, that's my bestie. No, because I know that when we talk, me and that person are going to be best friends. I already know it. just from everything I know about them, I know that we're going to be besties. We're going to have one conversation and we're going to be like, OMG, we're besties. Let's get married and go do gay kissing. And that's like literally what's happening here. It's not even a celebrity crush, because guess what? Tears of the Kingdom's going to love me back. It's going to be great. Anyway, I'm not moving it. It's my list. It's my list, and I'm not moving Tears of the Kingdom. Skyward Sword. Oh God, no. Hold on. Where did I? No, that's not. Get out of there. Okay. Well, I guess it's. Okay. It's not going and have not played. I've played Skyward Sword. If we're talking, okay, this is another part where I don't think the changes to Skyward Sword and Skyward Sword HD were as big as Majora's Mask and Majora's Mask 3D. If it was just the original Skyward Sword, not the HD re-release, right here, it's trash. It's fine. It's fine. But hear me out. The HD re-release added a lot of quality of life changes. The controls were better. You didn't have to use motion controls. If you did want to use motion controls, they worked better. It looked better. You could skip cutscenes. The flow of the game was better. Fi annoyed you less. And so with that in mind, I think the story and the characters are very good. And it will go right here. And now this is a pretty good games. And here we have my tier list of Zelda games. I think this is fair. I think this is a fair setup. I think this is completely reasonable. I had a deep hate for it, but HD did help, and I love being able to repeat. But I want you to know my room sounds like a Steam mention of how much I'm mauling right now. I don't know what to tell you. Skyward Sword's fine. Like, I don't know what you want. Do you? Oh, so what? You would put Skyward Sword in S tier in up here? Like, even, like, I can't. Like, okay, let's move this around a little bit. It'll go here. I'm gonna maneuver this slightly. Hold on. The best story in a Zelda game? What are you talking about? Majora's Mask is up here. You think this is the best story in a Zelda game when Majora's Mask exists? Ridiculous. Oh, I see what's happening. That's bait. That's bait right there. That's bait, and you're trying to get me to react, and it's gonna fucking work. What do you mean Majora's Mask is overrated? What are you talking about? It's the best Zelda game. It's the atmosphere, the story. Hold on. I gotta time out Delena again for a bit. It is the best. I don't know. Have you played Majora's Mask? Have you played it? Sorry. Wait, which version did you play? 3DS or the original? Oh, there's just no reasoning with you then. Like, you just don't have... I know they say there's no accounting for taste, but if you 100% did Majora's Mask... Did the Anju and Cafe side quest not affect you? Like, did it not just break you to your core? Did looking up at any point in the game and seeing a big moon not fill you with existential dread? Unbelievable. To say that Skyward Sword, a side quest, does not salvage the actual main story of the game. For one, when the game is jam-packed with incredible side quests, incredible story, incredible characters, but also the main story is really good and interesting and cool. And I'm just unbelievable that someone would think that Skyward Sword, because it's funny, Delena. Also, like, even beyond the story, gameplay wise, Skyward Sword does the same shit Wind Waker does, but worse, where it just like repeats content. The fact that you have to go back to the 3 main areas, like, and it's just barely changed. You're telling me that you think hunting for Tad Tones is top tier gameplay? Like, I just can't agree with that. I just won't agree with that. Anyway, here it is, final tier list. This, I think this is fair. I think this is completely reasonable. Now I'm gonna find a different tier list to do. Hold on, give me 1 second. You enjoy playing an OOT fanfic as a game? Whoa! 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 If any game is an OOT fanfic, it's Skyward Sword. Like, are you kidding me? Okay, what else can I do now? Let's see. Skyward Sword is literally the start of everything in the timeline. That doesn't mean anything. Like, the timeline is fake. They just made it up. Also, Minish Cap was the start of the timeline for like 12 years, and then they were like, just kidding, it's Skyward Sword now. I can't agree with that. Anyway, here we go. Next one. We're doing Wabam! Kingdom Hearts Worlds. Let's go. This will be, or no, Kingdom Hearts game. Sorry, there's another one that's Kingdom Hearts Worlds that I'm also doing. I kind of hate Skyward Sword, for the record. Damn, real. Also, like, again, HD made this a lot better, but Lily, bye. 365 over 2 days. Okay, well, for one, I'm gonna rename the tiers. We'll go. Hold on, I gotta time out Delana again. Cool. I'm gonna do it every time you say Kingdom Hearts or Kingdom Farts or whatever, Delana. It's gonna happen. Let's see, what are some good tier names? Okay, well, let's do go to the dark. Why was this made? I like this one. This one is... I love this one. I will name a child after this one. Okay. 358 Days Over 2. Obviously the best tier. Like, this is tough, okay? Darkness within darkness. Go to the darkness within darkness. Go to the darkness within darkness. This is a tough one, I think, because on the one hand, gameplay wise, it's pretty simple and it's pretty rough, and it hasn't aged the best. But I do also think that the kind of monotonous gameplay lends itself to the story, because it does make it feel like you're working a shitty 9-to-5, and then you get to go hang out with your friends Axel and Shion after your shitty 9-to-5, and that's kind of fun. And the story's also like incredibly character driven, and I think it has some of the best characters in the game. I mean, it uses the characters more than I think any other game does, because no other game in the series really focuses on the relationship between multiple characters quite as much as this one does. And I think having a story that is this character driven really benefits the series overall and is really good. And it introduces Shion, so that alone would bump it up like a tier by itself. I'm gonna actually, now that I've done that, I'm gonna try doing these in chronological order. Oh, do they have the non-final mixes and the... Okay, well, fine. We'll do Kingdom Hearts 1. KH1 Original's fine. I don't really have... I'm gonna ignore the non-final mix versions of the games because I think I'll just say whatever I want to about the final mix games. So, KH1. KH1, I'm gonna put in. I like this one. Kingdom Hearts 1, I think the gameplay's a little slow, especially at the beginning, and I feel like that can kind of make it a little tough to start, especially because the first few worlds in the game, I think it has almost a Metroid. I think what works really well with Kingdom Hearts is also what can be a little bit detrimental to it, because the worlds have an almost Metroidvania-like design to them, where when you first go to them, especially like Deep Jungle and Wonderland, on your first trip, you're so ill-equipped to maneuver in these worlds, and they're so platform heavy. And this is like the one game in the series that doesn't have good platforming controls, which is kind of funny in a sad way. That it just, when you actually come back later with high jump and glide and everything, it's cool to kind of go and get all the like items you missed, but it just doesn't. I feel like I just wish the core gameplay was more built around the concept of the platforming for a game that is so platform heavy. And it sucks because even just like one game later, or you know, one full game later with KH2, the game feels so much better to platform with, and then there's just no platforming and all the worlds are just like one hallway. That being said, I think KH1 feels good to play. The combat's weighty. It like feels punchy, which is a problem some of the other games have. And the story, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna move this up. Because thinking about it, I know that at this point it's become a meme how like convoluted and overwhelmingly long the Kingdom Hearts like story has become. But I do really like that Kingdom Hearts 1 could be played standalone. You could just play Kingdom Hearts 1 and it's like a completely fulfilling game. Yeah, the ending's like kind of bittersweet in a way, but like it doesn't need to have some concrete ending. There's a lot of mystery to the game. There's a lot that the game doesn't say. And pretty much everything the game didn't say has now been filled in by later games. Mostly the phone game, I think, has gone through and contextualized pretty much every mystery that we had in the original Kingdom Hearts. But ignoring that, if someone just played Kingdom Hearts, like in a world where Kingdom Hearts didn't catch on and never got any sequels, and just like was just this one weird game from like the early 2000s, I think it would be remembered really fondly as just kind of like this wacky action RPG from like the PS2 era that just had Square Enix and Disney characters and had kind of a weird dark story to it. And not to say that like the story being dark makes it better, but I do think that there's something kind of neat about the atmosphere of Kingdom Hearts 1, especially the end of it with like the end of the world, that none of the other games really like get to, because I think they tend to over explain everything a little more. I think the mystery of Kingdom Hearts 1 added a lot to the atmosphere. So I'm gonna put it there. I think that's safe. Shoot, it's kind of hard to read some of these logos. Okay, so let's go ahead and do Kingdom Hearts 2. I'll also say I love Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm going to put it slightly above 1. I think I love the story of Kingdom Hearts 2 separate for like different reasons than I do Kingdom Hearts 1. It's not, it's very different. The tone is very different. Not like incredibly different. Parts of it are very different. I think the overall tone is different. It's a little more lighthearted. It answers more questions. The ending is, it's interesting because the ending of 2, unlike pretty much every other game after it, the ending of 2 could also just be like a concise ending to the series. If you only play 1 Chain of Memories and 2, it's a completely like self-contained trilogy, as long as you don't count the like secret ending episode, whatever, like the ending cutscene that shows Birth by Sleep. And I think that's kind of neat. And I think it is kind of, again, looking to this like weird alternate existing world where it stopped after 2, I think it would also be kind of a cool fitting end spot for the series. And obviously where 2 really shines is the gameplay. I think the combat in this one, especially on something like critical mode, and especially against like the secret bosses and everything, is just really cool. It feels really good to play. I know it can be pretty simple and button mashy, but the combo modifiers are just really fun and flashy, and drive forms are just fun to use. And some of the bosses in the game really do kind of test you a little bit. And I think that when the game really like hits its stride, it's just good. It's just a good time. Are Chain of Memories and Chain of Memories on here? They are. I'm gonna put both of these here. I think these two, unlike the final mixes, are different enough that I feel comfortable putting them on separately, even though I'm putting them in the same tier. They're fine. I think my issues with them are the fact that in a game, Kingdom Hearts 1 was so much about like exploring these unique Disney worlds, and I think you just don't get that in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories at all, because all the worlds are procedurally generated blocks, and I think that takes away from like one of the main appeals, because like people complain about Kingdom Hearts 2 having linear level design, but at least it has level design. Chain of Memories does not. I'm also pretty hit or miss on the gameplay. I think the card battle system can be kind of cool, but it's also pretty easy to break, and sometimes it can be a little iffy. I think what saves this from going into a lower tier is the story. Yeah, I think the version, well, I know the Chain of Memories version is easier to break and is more exploitable, but I do like the way it plays more, especially the fact that there's a dedicated button to use slates as opposed to having to hit L and R at the same time, which is also the button for shuffling. So as far as I'm concerned, they're pretty interchangeable. But beyond the gameplay, which for both of them I could take or leave, I think the story is where the game really hits its stride. The whole thing with Naminé and introducing the organization as like new villains, it's really cool. Also, the fact that you could play as Riku after you beat the game just blew my mind as a kid. Like, that shit was playing this on Game Boy Advance and like struggling through the later parts of the game because I was too stupid to know how to use the card system. But eventually getting through it and then realizing, oh, I can play as Riku. Riku's fucking awesome. And just like losing my shit, going into like dark mode and stuff. Crazy. Like that shit alone, if you couldn't play as Riku, which to be fair, they didn't have to add in the reverse rebirth mode. They could have just not had it. Like, I think it contextualizes a lot, but like it wasn't 100% necessary. And they could have just said, oh, Riku did some shit and we didn't show it, and it would have sucked, but whatever. It's not the first time a character's just done stuff off screen. But the fact that they did, I think, makes this game pretty good. It's a hard one to recommend. I mean, the entire series is hard to recommend because anytime I tell anyone to play Kingdom Hearts, they look at me like I'm insane and then say no. But if you do play it, it's also rough because even if someone does agree to play it, they'll get to Chain of Memories, play it for like 10 minutes, and then be like, I don't like it because the card system's weird. And then I go, haha, yeah, no one likes Chain of Memories. Just watch the cutscenes. Ha ha ha. And then inside I'm like, you could just learn to play it. You could just literally learn the fucking system made for children. But I don't say that because that would be mean. Anyway, moving on. What do we got next? After this, we got to Recoded. Why was this made? Recoded for me is just it's fine. It's fine. It was I can't deny that when I first played it, I had fun. I enjoyed Recoded. Going through the worlds again was neat. Riku, they put bugs in it. It's Riku. They put bugs in him. Like that line alone. You know what I think would have made Recoded so much cooler and like less redundant is if instead of using Kingdom Hearts 1 worlds and Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora, they used Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora. And I know that seems like a pretty like small change, but Chain of Memories was already essentially just a retelling of Kingdom Hearts 1 with some extra plot, but you went to all the same worlds from Kingdom Hearts 1. I think going and having worlds from Kingdom Hearts 2 would have given the game, because there's no other, like, you only play as Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora in like one game, which is Kingdom Hearts 2 and then the beginning of 3 for like 2 minutes. I think having this be going through all the worlds from Kingdom Hearts 2, they could have made it work in the story. It would have been fine. And it would have given the game some more of its like own identity, because now instead of being the third time you're redoing the plot to Kingdom Hearts 1, it's just like, oh, you know, it's kind of to Kingdom Hearts 2 what Chain of Memories is to Kingdom Hearts 1. It's kind of a wacky retelling that recontextualizes some stuff. What makes this game not go to darkness within darkness is the gameplay. I think it's arguably the best implementation of the command deck system, because it actually flows well with the just regular combos. But the story is just so stupid, and the worlds are all ones we've seen before, and that's a bummer. And like, it was really cool playing it for the first time and running through these worlds and going back to Traverse Town on handheld after not going there since Kingdom Hearts 1. Or Chain of Memories, I guess, whatever, like actual Traverse Town, not just block Traverse Town. But goddamn, the story is so dumb, and in a series that really, weirdly enough, I know this is pretty controversial, but in a story that in a game series that thrives on story, somehow thrives on story. Like, I feel like having a game like where you can just not play Recoded, because at the end of Recoded, the revelation that like there's people that Sora still needs to save. That's not even like a new thing. We kind of already knew that. Like, this isn't some new development. It's just we kind of know. We know that Aqua's like, it's ridiculous. I don't think the story justifies itself existing. Like, and that's, I think, the tough part of like, I'm putting Coded in here also. Fuck it. I'm gonna yeah, those two. I've never played the original Coded, because it was a Japanese only phone game, so, but I'm going to assume, actually, you know what, go to Darkness Within Darkness, because like Recoded at least gets the gameplay buff. Coded plays like, from what I've seen of it at least, looks like it plays like a very simple mobile game and has a dumb story and it's broken up into different parts, so go to hell. Next we have Birth by Sleep Final Mix. I love this one. I'm gonna actually put this here. Birth by Sleep for me is incredibly nostalgic. I still remember I was in middle school. I had asked my mom if she could go to, on the release date for the game, I asked my mom, like, hey, can you go to GameStop? And this new game came out. Could you please get it for me? I'm so excited for it. I've been looking forward to it for months. Could you pick it up? And she said, sure. And I got in the car after school with my PSP. And she pulled it out, and I played it on the way home, and it was so cool. Bye, Delena. It was so cool, and it was so great, and it was like the first time, because as much as I loved 358 Days Over 2, it felt like, you know, a demake, essentially. It wasn't the full Kingdom Hearts experience on the go. It was very clearly chopped up and made for like a more portable system. Birth by Sleep was the first portable game in the series that felt like I was just playing a home console Kingdom Hearts game on the go. And to me, that was insane, because I didn't like have my own consoles as a kid. I had to share with my brothers. So this being like the moment of like, oh, now we're in business. I can play like a full Kingdom Hearts game with cool characters anywhere I want. Also, I really like the command deck system. I know a lot of like speedrunners and like pro gamers complain that it's pretty broken and that like there's only 3 good commands, but god damn it, it's so fun. And I always thought it was really annoying when in like Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2, you'd have to like ration out when you could use certain abilities and stuff. And I love that in Birth by Sleep, it's like, fuck that. I'm doing 3 screen nukes in a row and nothing can stop me. And like, playing it now, okay, yeah, I get it. I don't know how I got past the secret boss without losing my mind as a kid, because Mysterious Figure is bullshit and poorly designed, but I did it. And this game just has a lot of nostalgia, and it introduced Aqua to the series, and Aqua is the fucking coolest person to ever exist. So that alone bumps it up like a bunch of tiers. Honestly, Aqua does it. It's for Aqua. It's all for Aqua. Let's see here. What's next? 3D. Ooh. So this is where it gets controversial. This is where it gets Controversial. I really like 3D. A lot of people do not like Dream Drop Distance. A lot of people hate Dream Drop Distance. A lot of people say Dream Drop Distance is the worst of the series, and to them I say, I disagree. Is the combat a little floaty? Sure. Is the story the stupidest that Kingdom Hearts has ever been? Maybe. But are the balloons too good? Is it unbalanced? Yes, all of these things and maybe more, but it's a gay road trip. It's a gay road trip game. And I like when Sora and Riku would chase after each other. And flow motion's really cool. And the music's really fucking good. Like, really fucking good. Like, this might be... Dream Drop might be my favorite. This is also weird, because, like, I, for years, thought that everyone just agreed that Dream Drop Distance's music was, like, incredible. Because it's just a bunch of, like... For me, I loved all the world OSTs. Traverse and Trance, I mean, I use that in my streams as, like, my beginning soon music, because it's fucking good. One for All, the Musketeer battle theme music, so good. And then the end of the game is just a bunch of remixes of, like, final boss themes from older games that all sound phenomenal. And I'm just like, unbelievable. God tier OST, Yoko Shinomura off her fucking shits, losing her mind. Incredible game. Like, at the very least, incredible music. And then I was, like, watching someone play, like, a Kingdom Hearts randomizer. I think it was, like, Bloody Biscuits or something. Was playing, like, a Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer. And just casually goes, yeah, Dream Drop's music sucks ass and is really bad. It has no good songs. And I just feel like my whole worldview crumble. As I'm just like, what are you talking about? What do you mean it has no good songs? Did we play the same game? This game has incredible music. Anyway, beyond all that, like, yeah, the gameplay is unbalanced and kind of garbage, but again, I like the command deck system. I liked it in Birth by Sleep. I like it in Dream Drop. I really like flow motion. I think it's fun. Does it kind of make it so the platforming is dumb and bullshit? Yeah, it does kind of make all the weird... It's very strange that there's a lot of parts of the game where they add in clear platforming challenges that seem like they're supposed to be like, oh, how are you gonna get past this one? And then you can just, like, flow motion up the wall next to it, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's weird design. That's a little janky, but god damn, it's so fun. Ever since I saw the first trailer, back when, like, there was that first trailer when they were in their Kingdom Hearts 1 outfits fighting Heartless, and it's, like, really weird, and none of the shit from that trailer got used in the final game. But, like, ever since I first saw Sora skating along the rooftops of Traverse Town using flow motion, I was like, this shit's gonna blow my fucking mind. And then I played it, and I was like, this shit blew my fucking mind. Playing as Riku again is really cool. I didn't mention that in Dream Drop, or in 358 Days, but you can play as other characters in multiplayer mode, and I always really liked that as a kid, because you could play as Riku, and Riku's, like, my favorite character in the game, in the series. Riku or Roxas. Point is, as cool as that was, it was very limited. Here, Riku, once again, like in Recom, has, like, a really front and center role, and I think it's really cool, and I love, like, playing as both of them. The drop system's a little weird, but you can, like, work around it, and it's totally reasonable to, like, you know, just use some items or something. It's fine. Honestly, just, I really like it. I just had a lot of fun with it, and I don't know. A lot of people hate on the game, but I've gone back to it, and I've played through it multiple times, and just something about it just, like, connects with me on a way that I really like. Okay, moving on. What's next? We got all the phone games. Trash. Is that all of them? Okay. Why are there 3 of these? Honestly, yeah, I hate gacha games just with, like, a passion. I think this one, I think back cover is like the movie that was in, it's like the movie one. But as someone who watched the movie, I watched that movie hoping it would fill in the context for not having played the gacha games. Wrong. It only raises more questions and answers fewer, and I still had to go and watch a 40-minute cutscene compilation to actually get all the context I was missing. All three of them are trash. They made no sense without context. It was terrible. But yeah, I think it's just, I think there's some parts of the like Unchained whatever that are kind of neat. I think the Master of Masters seems kind of interesting. I like that he's like kind of schemy. And like getting some more info on the Keyblade War is kind of neat, but god damn it, I really wish that the whole Keyblade War setting was just used as like a regular ass game in the series and not some stupid gacha game. Because I'm not going to play a gacha game, and I think now you can't, because aren't the games like offline? Didn't Union Cross used to be called like Unchained Key or something, and then they changed the name, and I can't even keep track of it. It's so nonsense. I kind of know the plot from watching like a cutscene compilation, but I'm so sad that that's the direction that they went for the Keyblade War like backstory. Such a bummer. Okay, what do we got next? I think only 3 left. Yeah, 3 left. Birth by Sleep or Fragmentary Passage. This one's fine. I'm gonna put it above. I'm gonna put it above here. I think this was really cool as a precursor to 3. It was like basically, in my mind, so there was a whole thing where 3 was originally going to be on like a custom engine until, didn't they change it like partway through development and remake it on Unreal or something? Point is, in my mind, much like how you play as Roxas at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2, the whole prologue here of playing as Aqua, I feel like was supposed to be the Roxas equivalent of Kingdom Hearts 3. And I think that's kind of how I view it. I think the development for 3, because they had to restart on a new engine, ended up being a little bit longer. I have a theory with no real substantial evidence. This is just like something that I like to believe, and it makes sense to me in my brain, which is if they hadn't had to restart development on Kingdom Hearts 3 and it had come out a little bit sooner because they didn't have to switch engines, I think a Fragmentary Passage would have just been the beginning of 3. I think you would have just started with this, especially because the last cutscene of this is literally the opening cutscene of Kingdom Hearts 3 and like leads into the exact same thing. I really think that this would have been the opening to KH3. As it is, as its own little like 3-hour standalone thing, it's fun. You get to play as Aqua. I like Aqua. She's cool. It was our first time seeing Kingdom Hearts in the new engine, so the first time seeing it in like all really pretty cool graphics, and that was neat. The gameplay's, it's fine. It's pretty much just like a simple version of 3, and it's good. Again, and it was, I think, because the last game we had chronologically in the series was Dream Drop Distance, which had come out years ago, I was just like ravenous for more Kingdom Hearts anything. Because at that point, after Dream Drop, all we'd gotten were like the 2.5 and the 1.5 collections, which was cool getting Final Mix in the States for the first time. But, oh my god. The wait between Dream Drop and 3 ruined me as an individual, and I don't think I'm alone in that. But this was like a nice little holdover until we got 3. Oh shit, my stream's about to start ads. I actually have to go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna run an ad real fast. I will be back in a minute. Goodbye. Hold on. I'm back. Is the ad over? I'm gonna assume it is because it doesn't say it's happening anymore on my stream manager. Okay, wait, I need some water. It's very warm in my room and I'm dying. Okay. Let's see. Only 2 left then, right? Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh, this is where the controversy really begins. I don't think there's a more controversial game in the series than Kingdom Hearts 3. How do I feel about 3? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take Kingdom Hearts 3 and I'm gonna put it here. I think the issue with 3, and I will be fair to the game and say this is not 100% the game's fault. But I think the problem with 3 was a problem of expectations. And as much as it annoys me when people say, we waited 13 years for Kingdom Hearts 3, which is not true. That's not how that works. That's not how game development works. That's not how game series works. Between Dream Drop, which came out in 2012, and KH3, which came out in 2019, there were still 7 years. And that's a lot of fucking years. It's a lot of time to fester over each and every point in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance plot and think about exactly where the game series is going next. And I think, unfortunately, you know, a lot of people got a lot of expectations for the game. And some of which I think were maybe a little unreasonable. I saw some reports saying like, oh, every world in Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be as big as like Kingdom Hearts 1 as an entire game. And so I saw some people prior to the game's release straight up being like, this is going to be like a 200-hour game. It's going to be insane. And then the game lengthwise ended up being pretty much exactly the same as Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. And that, I will say, that's not the game's fault. That's either some mistranslation or something, or someone just, people hyping themselves up too much. Where I am less willing to forgive the game is the way that there were things that were set up that I feel like did not properly. It's Kairi. It's literally just, there's more. I think some of the worlds I'm a little iffy on. There were some that I think weren't great choices. There were some designs that I think were pretty rough. I don't understand the decision to bring back Pirates of the Caribbean as a world again. That was a odd choice. I don't think the Frozen world was good. And as much as I loved Monsters Inc. as like, you know, it just, some of the world design just felt a little rough. And in some ways it was great. Some parts of some worlds were very good. I liked Olympus. I thought it was very like, when the worlds are good, they're good. And as much as I think Pirates was like a weird choice, I do like sailing in video games. So the sailing in the open sea was pretty cool. I just think plot wise it was kind of dumb. Unforgivable what they did with Frozen. Just had so much goddamn potential as a world, and it was shafted and wasted, and I'll never forgive them for that. But where the game really loses me is with a lot of Kairi. Like the ending of Dream Drop Distance having a cutscene where Kairi comes out being like, I'm going to learn to be a Keyblade wielder. And everyone loses their shit. Because it's like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Because in Kingdom Hearts 1, Kairi was like straight up just damsel in distress. She had basically no agency. She's just, the entire game, she's in a coma. And at the end, when she says she wants to go help Sora, Sora literally says verbatim, "You can't come because you would just slow me down. You'd get in the way, Kairi." And then Kairi laughs and goes, "Haha, okay." And it's just like, huh, okay. And then she's not in Chain of Memories, like, at all. She's mentioned, but she's never she doesn't do anything in that game. She doesn't even show up. And then in 2, at the very end, after being kidnapped again, she has a moment where she's given a Keyblade, just randomly. She doesn't, like, she's just given a Keyblade, and it's like, fine, whatever, I can accept that. And then she's like, I want to fight this time too. And she starts whacking some Heartless with a Keyblade. And it's like, okay, cool. But she doesn't really get to fight during the final boss at all, which is understandable. She doesn't really have, like, you know, any experience fighting. She's only just gotten a Keyblade about 10 minutes ago. But you kind of think, wow, it would be kind of cool if we could get, like, all 3 of the, you know, Destiny trio fighting together. And then we get the end of Dream Drop. And we get the hint. We get the promise that Kairi will be learning how to use a Keyblade and be officially trained. And we get the concept. A Kairi with agency. A Kairi who will actually do things. And for 7 years after the release of Dream Drop Distance, we have that final cutscene. And we think, oh, Kairi's gonna do shit. She's gonna be so cool. And then we get to 3. And she spends the entire fucking game in the room of spirit and time, hyperbolic time chamber, fucking ex machina, training somehow, quote unquote training, without us seeing any of that shit, only to show up at the end and get kidnapped immediately and then killed. And it's just like, oh, okay. So she was just there to be motivation for Sora. I see. Great. So cool. Anyway, as much as I don't think Kingdom Hearts 3 is the worst thing in the world, like some fans of the series do, I will never forgive Tetsuya Nomura for shafting Kairi like that for the 3rd game in a row. Just, there are parts of the game that I think were not fair for fans to have expectations of. Kairi with agency was not one of those things. Having Kairi, like, be just, and I've seen some people say, like, oh no, having agency doesn't just mean you're good at fighting, and it's like, I know that at some level, but literally she was kidnapped, and then when Sora said, I'm not gonna fight you, Xehanort said something along the lines of, how about some motivation, and then pulls out Kairi and kills her. She was literally just there to motivate Sora to, like, fight Xehanort. It's bullshit. Absolute nonsense bullshit. And, like, we're gonna need at least 4 games with Kairi as a main character kicking monumental. I want girl boss Kairi. I don't give a fuck. At this point, I don't even care if it's, like, well written or established. Just give me, like, 3 games where Kairi gets, like, 4 Keyblades and quadruple wields them, and Xehanort comes back again and is like, ha, I'm even stronger and more eviler, Xehanort. And then Kairi fucking one-shots him. I don't even give a shit anymore. I don't want Kairi to be an actual character. I want Kairi to be so fucking overpowered that she's like a 6-year-old's OC with no weaknesses and not killable. And then I want Sora to be like, I'm so weak and I can't fight Lucio because of how strong he is. And then I want Kairi to show up and be like, fuck you, and then kill Lucio in 1 hit. And that's the only way I will feel I am given what I am owed. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I got some mixed feelings about Kingdom Hearts 3. So that's my tier. Oh, Melody Memories. Forgot about that. Fine. Okay, so that's my tier list for Kingdom Hearts games. Okay, no, for real though. Melody Memories. Isn't it so sad that that's where we're at? Where we have to go, maybe Kairi will be allowed to do something in the next game in 3 years. I think Melody Memories is fine. I am frustrated that for some goddamn reason... Okay, two problems with Melody Memories. One, gameplay, one, story. Gameplay wise, I think it's very bullshit that there's barely any Kingdom Hearts 3 songs in there. I get that the game was in development alongside Kingdom Hearts 3, and I don't know, it's unfortunate, and it's frustrating that they were never added in as DLC. I would have been fine. It would have sucked, but I would have been fine with paying a little bit extra to get some more songs. It's just aggravating that there was never more DLC for this game. Beyond that, I think it is frustrating that for some reason we couldn't just get a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game, and that Nomura felt the need to put actual plot in this game, plot that spoils the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. Because I think a big part of what makes Kingdom Hearts really good is the music. And I think it would be kind of neat if I could say to friends who aren't really into the series, hey, I know you don't really want to play through all these like really long action games with crazy story, but you know, maybe just play this rhythm game with all the music, and maybe that'll kind of be like a nice gateway into the game, like a gateway game. You know, like they play it, they go, damn, this is a banging soundtrack. I want to hear these in like the context that they're originally in. And then my sneaky scheme to get people to play Kingdom Hearts will be complete. My plan will be set in motion. But instead what happens is if I tell someone to play Melody of Memories and they play the whole thing, they get spoiled for every game in the fucking series. So that's a bummer. Beyond that, the gameplay's fine. It's kind of like a modified version of Theatrhythm, which I also think is just fine. I had fun with it. It was a fun rhythm game. I enjoy a good rhythm game on occasion. I'm not like super into them, but they're fun. There we go. That's my Kingdom Hearts tier list of all the games. It feels, actually looking at this, it does feel a little bit strange having 358 Days be the only one in S tier, but I'm sticking with it. I'm not changing my mind. I've already put all the things down. I don't know. It also feels weird not ranking these, but they're all basically just outdated versions of... I mean, you can't really even play these ones anymore unless you get the original hardware. So I'm not gonna... I'll go down here. They're fine. There we go. Problem solved. Okay. What other tier lists can I like complain about? What else is there to do? There's this one here, which is like all the worlds in Kingdom Hearts. That seems like it might be a lot though. Maybe. Do they have like... What are all the different... I see. Drop. They have all of them twice. Why do they have some of these twice? Dream Drop for Riku and then Dream Drop for... No, because then they have Monstro down here. This is strange. I don't know why it's sectioned out like this. Bad tier list. Moving on. What else can I complain about? Or rank? I don't know. Honestly, I kind of just went into this thinking I'll do the Zelda one, and then from there, figured I'd just kind of figure shit out afterwards, and that's kind of what I'm doing. What do we got here? Honestly, I'm actually pretty tired. I haven't gone on a big Kingdom Hearts rant like that for a minute, so maybe I call it here and I go get some lunch. Thanks for watching, Lily, and also anyone else who is here. This is fun. I haven't done tier lists before, so I had a good time. I hope it was entertaining to watch, and I hope everyone in here had fun as well. And thanks for hanging out. Bye, everyone.